My name is Eleanor Cambridge, and I have been the lead editor on the East India Company India Office Records F, the Board of Commissioners and Establishment of the Board, which is Module 6 of the East India Company collection. So in order to understand where the F series sits within the India Office Records, I'll just briefly give you an overview of how the East India Company was set up. So the East India Company was first established in 1600 and was a major territorial power in India by the latter half of the 18th century. The political influence it exerted meant that in 1784, the British government instituted standing commissioners known as the Board of Commissioners or the Board of Control, depending on the record you're referring to. Based in London, they were tasked with exercising supervision over the company's Indian policies. The company continued to exercise responsibility for the government of India until the reorganisation of 1858, and the Board of Control supervised the official correspondence of the company with its Indian presidencies. Contained within IORF, or India Office Records F, are the board's minutes, home correspondence and draft dispatches submitted by the company for approval. The board supervised the proceedings of the company in all matters of administration and approved the company's dispatches to India, with the power to alter them as they saw fit. It could also send its own dispatches with the EIC Court of Directors, who were obliged to sign them and send them to India. Originally, the board consisted of 6 commissioners, including Secretary of State, Chancellor of the Exchequer, plus 4 other Privy Councillors, and from 1793 it had a permanent president. This is the first module of IORF. It will be split into 4 modules overall. And it contains in the first module 806,500 images, which have been made fully searchable through the handwritten text recognition process of HTR. There are 1,257 documents focusing on the early years of the board, including 18 indexes. There are dispatches and drafts containing the nuances of the decision-making that was being sent out from the metropole, while financial documents offer insight into taxation and compensation. There are also numerous claims that are made for damages caused by the wars in different regions across India, and employees and their families frequently write in to establish who has the right to claim pensions. As you can see on the slide, maps were commissioned and sent back to London to show the newest territories that had been acquired by the company. This map is of the island of Salsette, which was first occupied by British forces in 1774, which is located in contemporary Bombay, or as it's known now, Mumbai. An interesting point of note for this map is that the crosses that can be seen at various points are actually Portuguese churches from the previous Portuguese occupation. So I wanted to draw out some areas of interest. The collection is vast for IORF, and these are just a few of my personal highlights from the collection. Documents frequently discuss negotiations between the company and the rulers of the princely states, with deaths and the resulting inheritances recorded meticulously by the company, some of which actually include family trees to justify why an elder son may not have inherited from his father. And it will be really interesting to see what people can find in those documents. I know some academics who've seen the material already are really excited by what they found there. Cholera outbreaks are a recurring issue for the EIC. Major cities like Bombay or modern-day Mumbai and Madras or modern-day Chennai all suffer huge loss of human lives. The disease kills thousands of company soldiers and unrecorded numbers of the indigenous population. Inoculation is promoted and invested in by the company, with information about preventing the disease being translated into local languages, and we have the approvals coming from the Board of Control for that to go ahead. Religion is also a contentious subject within the documents. There are references to a cholera deity that was being reported by a Catholic vicar to the board, who discovered labourers believed in this deity despite being quote unquote Christian. And there are also discussions about the Hindu and Muslim faiths, as well as different Christian denominations and how they are living alongside each other in their communities. The picture on the slide is the beginning of a series of correspondence with a Scottish ecclesiastical chaplain and the EIC about erecting churches in Calcutta. We also have a huge amount of additional content alongside the document. New essays have been commissioned, including a piece discussing the EIC's impact on the environment, particularly focusing on Singapore and Malaysia and the ill-fated attempts at farming crops there. There is an interactive chronology and government structure chart, which allows users to navigate who was a member of the board at what time, and therefore what decisions they were involved in making. And as I mentioned before, the material is fully searchable through HTR. We also have updated our alternative place names guide to offer new search terms for different cities, as for example with Bombay and Mumbai. I've been working on the EIC collection for a year now, and I'm really excited to be able to share this with everyone. It's got some incredible details that I think haven't been properly explored yet.